So here, in this video, we'll be looking into the Node.js events. Uh, so, if you think about what events are in the front end, you have been using maybe on change, on over events, or something like right. So, with those events, you actually attach a callback and or maybe a function. You want that function to be invoked whenever you want uh, to just like invoke the that particular event. And so it may be a button, it may be an input in on change. You have been choosing the inputs like on change and all, right? So these are actually the front end event emitters. In the backend as well, you can use events, which is actually it is actually majorly used for the WebSockets, but we will look into it in the another video. For now, we'll be looking into the events as such. So this is the official documentation of the event emitter. I mean the Node.js events. So what it actually tells you that if you work with the JavaScript in browser, you may have the interaction of the user and handle through the events that. So let's say mouse clicks and all, right? But you haven't used any event emitters in the backend, isn't it? So let's say you want maybe to you want your server to also listen to some events, right? So how can you do this is the best way is to give this task to the Node.js events, right? So this is the syntax. You can go through it, but what I will just make something simpler as such. So for Node, it is actually you make a class first of all. So uh, events class. It will be require and events, right? So this will be a class, and if you know classes and objects from the class, we class is basically our like you can say in the Hindi it is dhacha, right? It is a structure, and with that structure you actually make the object, isn't it? So const event obj equal to even you create a new instance of the class, right? So new events class, give it, right? So my object is there now, event object. So let's say if I log the event obj, then let's say if I run this node index.js, you would see that I'm getting an object, right? So from this, I actually want to make something, right? So event obj. So even it can be actually button. Yeah, I think it would be helpful if I name it as a button. And what I will do is now button is my object, and it actually gives you the methods. So button has many methods like emit, off, on, once, prepend, listener. But you in the 90% of the cases you will be using just two of them. It is on and emit. Okay. So on, what is actually on? I mean, so let's say uh, in the event listener, you actually define those kind of events, right? That it should be on click. So if the user clicks on that particular button, then only that event will be triggered. So there also you can actually create the event that okay, this is the event I want to. These are the three features I would say that you can create an event. You can listen to an event, and I think you can, yeah, you can register. You can register an event. So in this in this line number 5, you are actually registering your event that, okay, this is the button. I am registering this button to listen something, to maybe to emit something, right? And this is the on click. So let's say it is just like the add event listener, that btn dot add event listener, right? So I will just attach a callback. So if someone clicks it, then this console.log will be triggered that clicked on the button, right? So it's a button. Now you have registered the, I mean, you are listening to this click. So whenever any user, so this can be anything, right? So this can be click, this can be anything. Let's say I can give npm click, just like, I mean, anything, any name, and there's just an event. It's not like the node actually provides you something like click or something. Okay. So npm click, and you are now listening to this. You are not actually triggering anything, right? So if I actually now index.js, you would say there's nothing because I'm just listening to something. I'm not triggering anything, right? So for trigger, you actually have to use another method called emit. So now if you hover on event, it actually tells you that saying that it actually synchronously calls each listener registering for events name, event name. Okay, so in this case, my event name is npm click. So what I would do is I'll just npm click, right? Make sure the spellings are right because yeah. So now you are actually listening. You have created an event, you are listening, you are triggering an event, right? Triggering an event, and here you are actually listening to this event, that listening to the event, right? So you are listening to this npm click. So whenever the user actually clicks, this click will get executed, and this callback will be called as soon as someone clicks it. Right? It's not like I mean virtual click, but I mean the real beacon click, but it is like a backend click. I mean it will be helpful for the other videos as well. The majorly the WebSockets, and you will understand that what is the actual use case. But now if I run this, you would see that clicked on the button, right? So as soon as the JavaScript actually runs from the top to bottom, the button, the event will be registered. Then it will continuously listen to that event. And whenever you actually click on this, then it will actually call this in your JavaScript, right? So let's say I will just so you can think about this case also that, okay, I'm first, I mean, triggering the event and then I'm listening. So what you want as the output? I mean, definitely, I mean, nothing, right? So you are actually, you are, first of all, you are checking that if there is something. I mean, you are basically invoking that function without even declaring it, isn't it? So it won't throw you error, but the thing is, it won't make sense, right? So that's why you don't see any output as such. So yeah, this was the basic clips about how you can actually think of the events. There are also more events as well. We will look into it in the WebSockets video that will be coming out maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I mean tomorrow. So yeah, thanks.